Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the second round of the Hyrule brackets of the 2025 Zelda 1 Randomizer Random Force Tournament, featuring a exciting matchup between our number 2 seed, FurySK, and our number 34 seed, jessandy8. I'm Potato Pony, and I'm thrilled to be here with you watching this race this afternoon, and I'm joined on commentary by Antlers. How you doing, Antlers?
I'm doing pretty well, Pony. Hope you are also doing well, and everyone else out there is ready to see a great race between two really good runners in FurySK and jessandy8.
We're just about ready to get started, so the runners should be off any moment now, and then we'll talk about what the race is all about our racers, about the flags, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Fury, the 2 seed, went, I believe, unbeaten in the Swiss rounds of this tournament. jessandy8, the 34 seed, had a really difficult path to get here. Faced some real juggernauts in the Swiss and still ended up with a 34 seed, which is really impressive.
All right, we're off. We're starting right by vanilla start. So before we even talk about these flags, Antlers, I want to ask you one of my favorite questions for somebody is as good a Z1R player as you are. When you start somewhere like this, where you're sort of in the middle of everything, how do you think about which way to go and where to go first?
So my immediate thought when I'm like kind of in the middle of the map, I try to prioritize as many, as big a conglomeration of open caves as I can. They're going to both have a lot of different avenues available to them, and we already see some divergence and some nasty enemies on the overworld. Wizrobes, and I believe did we see Gorillas as well? It's not going to be a fun time.
They're bunnies also. The
bunnies and dark nuts. Yeah, that's kind of brutal. As Fury finds his wood sword at the Vanilla Potion Shop north of level 3, and is continuing up Westlake Mall. But this overworld's going to be tough. But the good thing is the dungeons are going to be pretty approachable for the most part.
And when you've already knocked out Wizrobes, Bull's Voice, and Darknuts from being in those dungeons, those are 3. Put aside likes as another one. Those are 3 of the enemies who, when they're in dungeons, can take a lot of stabs with the wood sword to get down. So you're going to be faster in the dungeons. And Fury finds the wand as Death Armos, so an immediate combat upgrade as well bodes well once they start finding dungeons.
Yeah, Jess, unfortunately, the Zag to Fury's Zig not paying off for her early in this seed. She's going to need to get back over there quickly, but it looks like she's trying to prioritize the Lost Hills checks here, which I don't blame her. There are 3 Armos on this side of the world where that item could potentially be. But we know, unfortunately for her, this is not the right play, and she's going to need to get back down to start and go left.
Yeah, it's just one of these, coin toss again from starting in the middle, and you play the odds, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I gotta think once she does the 3 Armos checks and sees the coast item here in the east, that she'll head back west to find the actual Armos item. So probably will only end up a few minutes behind to the wand, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like she's going to clear out the rest of these Lost Hills open cave checks, which it is a high frequency of potential wood sword caves. It's just unfortunately not the right place to be. And she does find level 6 with 2 key doors. She's gonna leave it for now and come back later. And that might be a good thing, knowing that that's up here and she has to come back anyway. She might not be so apt to completely dig this side of the world before going back.
Let's take a moment to just talk briefly about the flags we've got here for folks who haven't watched many of the tournament races yet. We've got a mixed first quest overall, which means we've got a bunch of slots that may or may not open that are from first and second quest, but not both of them. The other unique things about this flag set is the runners are both going to have to find a candle in a candle shop, and they're going to have to buy it. So there's no free candles. We've seen each of the runners take a couple of heart containers right now, and if you notice, there wasn't a candle as an option. So they're going to have to find a candle shop and buy a candle. And they're going to need anywhere from 5 to 8 Triforces to enter level 9. And that puts a premium on finding level 9, because when they find level 9, it will tell the racers how many Triforces they need, which is very helpful information to have as you're figuring out which dungeons to explore throughout, as Jess finds level 9.
And nice dodge from Jess there on the overworld. She sees she needs 6 Triforces to get into level 9. Almost did not get that information because the blue Wizrobes on the previous screen almost trapped her, and she only had 2 hearts. She would have been dead if she had taken a hit. So very good job ducking back out of that screen and respawning it to get through there, because that's some critical information early that if she had missed, might have taken her a while to get back to.
So Fury is tracing in Jess's footsteps a little bit in the northeast here. We're going to see what Jess does once she checks the coast item. Sees that it's her favorite item, the recorder. And it looks like she's staying on the east, which, again, makes sense, but is unfortunate since we know that she's got to get west of Star to get her sword and the wand.
Meanwhile, Fury finds a potential super room in this level 6, decides to go through the transport staircase, leave that Triforce for later. Fury's committing to this 6, so it's an interesting play at the beginning, but with the offense that he's got, I definitely don't mind this play. Find some bombs on the floor. If this dungeon pays off with a ladder or silvers, even red ring this early, or book, he could be in business, as Jess finds level 5 up here in the Lost Hills.
Finishing the rundown of the flags, we also have truthful hints that can make a big difference in giving key pieces of the puzzle away to our runners, but they'll need the book in order to be able to read the hints. And then we've got one of our newer flags, in-dungeon heart shuffle on, which means, like in the normal game, every level will have both a heart container and 1 or 2 items, but unlike the normal game, the heart container may be on the floor or it may be in a staircase, and so it'll be up to the runners to discover which is which in each level.
Meanwhile, Fury found a ladder block up past that transport staircase in this level 6. We'll see if he's able to work around that in some way. It wasn't. It was kind of in the middle of the dungeon, both on the X and Y axis. And there is a key door up from this staircase room. It appeared for a second like he was going to take this Triforce and run, but he's deciding to dig more, and potential staircase room here for him.
So Jess finally saves after she finishes the northeast. Fury finds a heart in the basement, and now Jess is gonna head west and should find her sword and wand shortly.
Yeah, and with that information of the heart being in a staircase, Fury is going to continue looking here. It's going to be a floor item in the 6, which is tougher to find a lot of times, because when you're looking for when you know your item is in a staircase, all you have to do is look for rooms that can possibly be staircase rooms. You have to clear everything that can drop if you know your drops for specific dungeons, if you're looking for a floor item. So, and he's already found the Triforce, which eliminates one possible useful floor item, or floor drop.
So I think it's like a good news, bad news situation for Fury. On the one hand, He's picking up keys, which is very helpful when he gets to smaller dungeons. He also, like we talked about earlier, the enemy set isn't that bad, and with the wand and his wood sword, he can pretty much chew through these rooms pretty quickly. On the other hand, it's level 6. It's probably huge. There's a lot of rooms. He could sink a lot of time into clearing these rooms, even with each room being relatively quick. And if it's not an item that pays off, that's potentially an area where Jess could pick up some time down the line.
Yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, Jess died just after seeing that wand and just before picking it up, so I had to go back to this Death Armos screen to get it. Meanwhile, Fury continuing to trudge forward in the 6, he is hard committing to this. So he's going to really want to see something useful here. I know he is a big fan of the blue boomerang. Don't think he'll be particularly happy to find it here. Oh, it's a red candle. That's kind of mean, taunting him there, because he doesn't have a candle yet. That's super useful if he can get it, but I doubt he ends up coming back for that unless he finds a very quick ladder here.
Yeah, the early red candle can be a huge boon in this flag set, but only if it's not out of reach beyond the ladder block.
So Fury will pick up that Triforce in 6 and go ahead and move on here. Meanwhile, Jess finds level 2 at vanilla level 3 here. So this is something that Fury didn't come all the way over here to the Deadwood spots. This could be a good differentiator for Jess if she finds something very useful early, but unfortunately, we are recorder blocked, which means we are ladder blocked in this level 2.
So I'm going to take a moment while the racers continue exploring the overworld here to share a little bit about the history of Jess and Fury from my buddy Ponybot, who tells us all the stats about our racers. Fury finds level 5 meanwhile, and is going to head inside and find yet another key. It's up to 4 keys. So Jess and Fury have raced together in 66 races in common. So they they both race a lot, pretty decent history together, and Fury holds a pretty large advantage over those 66 races. He's finished ahead of Jess in 54 of the 66 races as Fury finds a bow in the staircase in level 5. So that's a really big find for Fury. But you also have to think that when Jess gets over to level 5, it was right near start, not particularly hidden. So she will probably find it once she gets over to level 5 without too much trouble.
Could still be a big find for Fury, though, in terms of timing, because how many dungeons does Jess dig before she goes back to that 5 is the question. Looks like she's heading back in that direction, which would help her know that she doesn't have to dig for a bow if she ends up getting late into the seed and doesn't have it. So it looks like she's going straight in there, which is good for her.
He just beelines to level 5. So she should have her bow momentarily. So beyond the 66 races that Fury and Jess have in common, they have never raced head-to-head before today. So this is their very first head-to-head race. So we don't really... Ooh, look at that tiny segmented level 5. Pretty wild.
Did Jess pick up that bow? I might have missed it. I didn't see.
I was looking on Fury's side, so I also did not see.
Yeah. I'll have to wait for Jess to menu here to...
I mean, she's definitely going to find it. Once she gets the map, it's like impossible to miss it in such a tiny...
Well, I believe the staircase room that she went through is the room that has the bow on the floor. Truant in chat saying no, she did not pick it up. It was in a staircase. Sorry, the bow was in a staircase. I was thinking, okay, we'll see. I doubt she leaves this without... Okay, yeah, it was a different staircase.
Yeah, I think you've got two. You're gonna have 2 transport staircases in this 5.
Yeah,
as well as the item. So the 2 of them have raced 4 times together, practicing for the tournament back in January. And while Fury has that huge lead overall in their matchups, Jess has actually finished ahead of Fury in 3 of the 4 practice races that they did together. So that bodes a little better for Jess. But my favorite stat about these two when I was taking a look before this race is that if you just look at all the races they've each done of this random force flag set, Jess has raced the tourney flags 51 times. Fury has raced the tourney flags 34 times, as Fury picks up arrows to go with his bow. And of those, all the times they've raced the tourney flags, Jess's average finish time is 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 19 seconds. And Fury's average finish time is 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 18 seconds. So you can't really get any closer than that in terms of how they've both been doing in dozens of times racing these flags.
Yeah, very evenly matched. So we have a ladder block Triforce in level 5. That's why they both dipped out. I did not see Jess get that bow. Hopefully I just missed it for Jess's sake, but yeah, hopefully she'll find that soon at some point. Because we're gonna need she's gonna not go back in there until she gets the ladder, I would almost guarantee. Meanwhile, it looks like Jess is going into 6, and Fury is making his way over to Death Mountain, gonna do some bombing here. And finds level 1. Level 1 over in the Death Mountain area. So Jess is gonna take this staircase. We'll see if she goes through it. She is going to go through it. Get the same sad information that Fury got, that she is ladder blocked in this area and will not be able to make progress. We'll see if she continues on through the bottom after she comes to that realization. Meanwhile, Fury making his way through this level 1 quickly and getting restocked on his keys after that 5 ate a lot of them. Possible staircase room for Fury in level 1, but ends up being a key. As Jess gets the news that she's ladder blocked and will have to go back to start, we'll see if she continues on to find that red candle on the floor.
She does look like she's going to dig a little further.
Man, this 1 being abnormally generous with the keys. A lot of times 1 is a key eater, but it's just netting keys for Fury like crazy right now.
In fact, Fury had 2 or 3 going into 1, and now he's up to 6.
Yeah, that's wild. Usually it's the other way around. And finds the ladder at the top of level 1.
Jess is finding the heart in the basement now, and so this is the big decision point of whether she sticks around to try to find the floor item, or as Fury did, or not.
Jeez, it's like every room in this level 1 has a key, and Fury knows now that underneath of him is an old man, and to the left of him is almost assuredly his staircase item in level 1, because every wall that has a room adjacent to it will bomb unless there's something stopping it, like an old man in this case, or a right side staircase. The only way this room that Fury's about to walk into is not his staircase item is if it's Zelda's room.
There you go, there's the right side staircase. We'll see what it holds. It's a raft.
Not a terrible find.
You have access to two more spots on the overworld.
Yep. So the only item that would prevent Fury from finding dungeons or anything he needs to find on the overworld now is the power bracelet, as we know that the recorder is on the coast.
Good question asked in chat. Antlers, I'm curious what you would do. Now that Fury has the ladder and knows exactly where the red candle is in level 6, does he go back to level 6 to grab it since he hasn't found a candle shop to buy one?
Oh, in my opinion, absolutely. You stay and you dig out the rest of Death Mountain. As Jess picks up her Triforce in level 6, that is her first. Because you're already here in Death Mountain, but you go to, or you up A back to start, and then you go to the coast, grab that recorder, and then you can recorder up to 6. Since you have the Triforce already, I think that's the most efficient play if you're in Fury's shoes here. But he doesn't need a candle in this area of the world. There's no burn bushes to do, so he'll be able to finish this up without really missing a beat. Here he gets the 88 large secret here. And if he finds a candle shop up here, he might just end up grabbing one just for ease.
He already has arrows. He's unlikely to buy a blue ring, and even though he knows where the red candle is, it's still, going to be a minute or something out of his way to go get it, as Jeff buys a candle at a shop on the south coast.
However, the other argument for going back to 6 is it is very close to level 5, which has a Triforce sitting on the floor for him that he knows where it is. It is ladder blocked up in the top, so that could also be something he routes in if he wants to go back to 6 for a candle.
Looks like all the candle shops are on the south coast, so he may not find any other ones.
Nice bomb force there from Fury. And he's finding a dungeon. It is level 7. Does Fury go in? He does. And that is a big ol' 7. Looks like Fury's gonna say, oh, Fury's gonna stay in. He's just going a different way. Immediately gets shoot rimmed. But there's a Triforce.
It's a very quick Triforce in level 7, just like in level 6, as these large dungeons are being pretty kind in terms of giving away the Triforces easily.
And also, just casual ladder block again. A lot of ladder blocks so far this seed. Fury picks up Triforce 7. That is his third, and he's really moving in this seed. He's there's not a whole lot stopping him at this point. Did he find level 9 down there? I don't know if I saw him go into 9.
Yeah, I don't know if he did, which means he also may not have seen the recorder on the coast.
True. So that's a good thing to point out there. If he doesn't know the recorder's on the coast, he doesn't know that he can just grab it and go up to level 6. But he's checking out the any roads here. Nice and decently spread out. One in East Death Mountain, one on the south coast, one in West Death Mountain. I forget where the other one was, but it was pretty well spread. Looks like he wants to finish up Death Mountain as Jess has her candle and is going through Candle Row now. And this route that Jess is taking could lead her to 1 in the ladder. When she gets up to the top of Candle Row, I would suspect maybe she wants to go left. She does need bombs, that's the problem. But if she can manage to get bombs, as Fury finds level 3 in West Death Mountain, she could go left and find level 1 pretty quickly, which we know is what she needs to do for that ladder.
And getting the ladder would also at some point, bring Jess back to level 5, because she saw the ladder block there, and hopefully to the bow as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern for Jess right now. Eventually she's going to find that level 1, but the bigger issue is she did not find that ladder out of 5, which is obviously a huge concern. Or sorry, did not find the bow out of 5. Fury doing some good wand whipping here with these Gibdos.
Level 3... Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I was just going to say, level 3, level 1, and level 5 all have approximately the same shape.
Yeah, they're very close in shape for sure, with the exception of 5 being segmented.
Yeah, 5 has the extra bit off to the side, but they're all, vertical with a couple rooms off to the side.
Yeah, it looks like Jess is going through the grave here. That's unfortunate because level 1 was one of those little bomb spots that connects East and West Death Mountain. With this route, might be a while before she gets back to that. She's still got plenty of bushes to burn, I believe, in the forest. But it looks like she's going back, so that's good.
I do feel like 25 minutes in, this has been a textbook, study in sometimes it's just the routing decisions that make a ton of difference in a seed.
I was watching to see where Jess went. I didn't see what caused Fury to get out of that level 3. I'm guessing possibly Dig Dogger. That's the only thing I could...
Yeah, I think it was a Dig Dogger.
Didn't see if Fury got the item out of 3 either, but it looks like probably not.
I don't believe he did. So Fury's going to repeat the checks that Jess just did over by the grave and Vanilla Sex.
Yeah, and I would guess that Fury will do a world wrap over to get the coast item, which is going to be a little frustrating for him to know that he could have had that recorder before running into that recorder block. Does buy a candle, which at this point, with the route that he's on, I don't blame him for, and the money that he's got. As Jess finds level 7. Unfortunately, she's going to find 7 and 3 before she gets back to that level 1. Hopefully there's a ladder block somewhere in this 3 that pushes her out earlier than Fury. Oh, and Fury's not going to world wrap. He's going to up A back to start. Check these.
He hasn't done the Deadwoods, and he doesn't know that the recorder, which is useful in the Deadwoods, is on the coast, so he's probably planning to do as much of the Deadwoods as he can and then wrap over to the coast item.
Yeah, that would be my guess, especially since he just bought a candle, which, I mean, it's definitely a viable strategy. It's just unfortunate for him with the information that we know, but he's still in a really good spot in this race.
Sure.
He's definitely, if I were to have to call a leader, it would definitely be Fury at this point.
Of course, the big X factor is still where the silver arrows are, and so far we haven't seen level 4, we haven't seen level 8, and we haven't seen the white sword item. So there's still lots of options for where that piece of the puzzle might be.
Jess is doing this 3, as expected. We'll obviously get the bad news at some point here. And for different reasons, be frustrated. She'll be frustrated immediately when she finds the ladder in level 1. Fury finding a lot of take-inies now, catching up to Jess on hearts. He did take a potion from one of them, which is a play that I like. It looks like Fury's going up this Candle Row instead of doing the Deadwoods. Very unbothered by that coast style.
It's interesting that he's not making it more of a priority, just given if for no other reason than the information it provides. It could be the silver arrows, and he would know that piece of the puzzle.
It is also very easy to forget. You think about it at the beginning of the seed, and then a lot of times you just kind of forget about it if it gets deeper and deeper into the seed, or it's possible anyway. Or it's possible he could just be thinking it's not. He could be gambling that it's not anything important as well, and just really trying to prioritize finding level 9, because he has not found level 9 yet.
It's a good point. And I know when I would play these flags, I generally try to put a premium on finding level 9, just because such key information to know, am I going to need an overworld item to get to level 9, but more importantly, how many Triforces?
We're doing these river checks now, and Jess looks like she's going to go back into this level 7. Hopefully for her, she finds the Triforce as quickly as Fury did, and Fury finds level 8. Looks like he's making the play.
So this could be big in a whole bunch of different ways. 8's going to have a heart container and 2 items, so it's got, decent odds of having the silvers, which would be huge for Fury, but 8's also large, so it's a potential place to sink a lot of time, and if it doesn't have a big item and Jess's routing ends up avoiding 8, it could be a factor in her favor.
And Jess is pirouetting this door open in level 7, or attempting to anyway. This is a nasty room for Lionel's in 8 that Fury's in. Luckily, Fury has the wand, and he's able to beat the Lionel's in the DPS race there. But if you walk in without any ranged offense, you're not making it through that room without some stellar defensive upgrades. This level 7, as 7 tends to do, not opening up very well for Jess. Trying to bomb some walls there and not really making much progress that way. It looks like Jess is going to be out of this level 7, unless she is going to... Well, no, she's going. I was thinking maybe she screen scrolls and then screen scrolls back to try and open up that left side, but that is not the plan.
I gotta think, if you're Jess at this point in time, you're 32 minutes in, you got the free Triforce from 6, you've done a bunch of overworld exploration, you've seen a bunch of other levels, but basically not gotten anything, Triforces or items, from any of the other levels. You're probably starting to feel pretty behind.
Oh yeah, and she's gonna feel even more behind, I would bet, when she finds that level 1, which is coming up here. Well, if she can get a bomb drop from these whiz robes. I'm not sure if it was... No, it's the next screen.
The next one,
yeah. Well, as in the meantime, Fury finds the any key, which is not the best find with 5 keys, but it's certainly not completely unuseful.
What it is completely predictable, since keys have been relatively easy to come by, that Fury would find the any key.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Jess, I think there might have been a bomb shop here. Going to get more bombs.
Yeah, it was the candle and bomb shop.
Yep, that was it. Fury doing some nice dodging here in this room in level 8. Finds the Triforce. Looks like he's going to leave it, which is fine because there's bubbles in that room, which will keep those enemies dead. He won't have to re-clear that room unless he leaves the dungeon.
The question is, so the any key was a staircase item, which means there's a 50-50 chance that the second item is a staircase item versus needing to clear out rooms.
Yeah, looks like this 8 is potentially very large, which 8 tends to be, just based on how it's opening up here. Meanwhile, Jess does find level 1, will get the ladder, will presumably go back for that recorder, and if Fury continues to dig this 8 without really finding a huge payoff here, it could be what Jess needs to get back into this race. There is still an item in 7 that Jess could find that could be the silvers at some point. Still an item in 3. So this race is still relatively young at this point.
Still an item in 2 also, right? 2 was Dig Dogger blocked?
It was Dig Dogger or Ladder blocked? I can't remember. There have been a lot of blocks this seed.
We still haven't seen level 4, so...
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here still for Jess to come back. But she's gonna need Fury to not find the silvers in this 8. That would be one thing that would be very hard for her to come back from.
For sure. Meanwhile, Jess is benefiting now from the bonanza of keys in level 1.
Yeah, they just kept coming in this one, didn't stop.
This one has an identity crisis. Doesn't realize that it's level 1.
Right. Finds the ladder, and is also gonna, I would presume, find that raft as well. Meanwhile, Fury's still looking for the second item in this level 8. He's very committed at this point. Finds the map, and it is a very large level 8. But he's done enough that he's not going to leave this 8 without the second item.
This is circling around to that corridor staircase.
Or maybe he will. There's not... I would suspect that he checks these couple rooms that he's left behind down here, and then if he doesn't find it, he might just pick up the Triforce and leave, although this is either going to be an item or a transport, or, well, I guess we hadn't found the heart, so... Yeah,
or the heart,
on the floor.
Which could also be the item. It could be the coast heart.
Very true, so... We'll see if he picks up this Triforce, or if he decides to go ahead and commit to the rest of this dungeon. He's all in. He's going for it. Meanwhile, Jess picks up her Triforce out of level 1. This is definitely allowing Jess to even this score a little bit. I would imagine Jess is going to be beelining to the coast here, or possibly going back to level 3 and then beelining the... Well, no, she got recorder blocked out of 3, not ladder blocked. Maybe level 7.
7, maybe? So she never went left of the first room in 7 to see the Triforce, right?
Correct. It was possible that to get to the shoot room was ladder blocked. I can't remember.
I thought it was just one room to the left, but maybe I'm wrong.
It is. It's in a vertical chute, though, so you have to go up and let.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
It was ladder block.
Here,
Okay.
gotcha.
That makes a lot more sense.
All right, so Jess knew where the Triforce was, so she swings by, pick it up, and evens the Triforce count. So, you know, despite all the routing differences, Fury still has some advantages. He knows he got the bow out of 5, has his arrows, has learned a lot about level 8, which if Jess ends up in level 8 will cost her a lot of time. But it's not, I don't think the disparity is necessarily as big as it might have seemed.
No, if honestly, if Fury doesn't get silvers in this level 8, I would almost say that Jess kind of has, in some ways, an advantage, because she's going to do the Deadwoods here, I would imagine, after checking this raft spot, and then she's going to go right for her recorder.
Absolutely.
She's going to want to world wrap, go for a recorder, and then I would imagine she goes straight back up to 3 at that point. Because she now has the...
And 2.
What's that? Sorry.
And level 2. She's got 2 small
Right.
dungeons that the ladder and recorder unblock to get items from, so...
Oh, and it was a double heart in level 8. Coast heart and stair heart. Or dungeon heart, so... That is not good for Fury. That allows Jess to get back in this in a pretty big way. Fury will be 1 Triforce up, but Jess made up a ton of ground there. Oh, and Fury has to do this nasty shoot room again. Gotta tank the hits from the Lionels.
The clock helps.
Absolutely, yeah, it does. Jess gonna make her way through the Deadwoods and then over to this recorder. So Fury picks up the Triforce out of 8, has the 4-3 Triforce advantage, and is mercifully going to be done with this level 8. That was not a fun one. Even less fun when he found the items. So let's see how Jess decides to play this now and where Fury decides to go. Because Fury still does not know that recorder is on the coast. It still has not seen 9.
So both raft spots were blank. I'm not positive between the 2 runners we've seen all the non-recorder spots, but I think there's a good chance that both level 4 and the white sword item are going to be under recorder spots.
Or power bracelet spots.
Or power bracelet, right.
And Jess is going back into 2 first, and then I would imagine she recorders back up to 3. And meanwhile, Fury's finally getting over to this southeast part of the map, which we know is huge, with recorder and level 9 sitting here. And yeah, it was a recorder block in level 2. So 2 recorder blocks this seed. 1 in 2 and 1 in 3.
Level 2 also doing its best job to look sort of like level 5.
Yeah, true. Very, very similar layout there. Yeah, so the lingering question here for Jess is, does she go back to that 5 for a Triforce? She knows she needs 6. This will be 4. 3 will be 5. And then, hopefully, if you're a Jess fan, she'll go back to 5 for that 6th and final Triforce that she needs and find her bow on the way.
I think it might depend a lot on whether she finds level 4 along the way, right? If she does recorder checks, for example, near where she is while cleaning up 2 and 3, and she finds level 4, then she likely is just going to do it. But she saw the map in 5. She knows it's a small level 5. You know, she knows that the ladder should give her access to the Triforce, and from her perspective, probably the item as well. So...
Meanwhile, Fury finds level 9, gonna get the information of 6 Triforces required, and Jess is still working her way through this too. Found the heart on the floor, finds the Triforce. It will be in this top segment, I believe Jess cleared out all of the bottom, so. And it's the silvers in 2.
That is huge, because that guarantees that Jess will not spend probably any time in that level 8, which picks up an enormous amount of time on Fury.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Fury, he's starting to check recorder spots, which we know are now completely unrequired.
Actually, I shouldn't say guarantees that Jess doesn't go in 8, because Jess hasn't seen the bow yet, so it's still possible. But
yeah, that's one thing. I was like, it could still happen. I would think that Jess would prioritize 5, knowing that she hasn't found the item out of there, and she knows exactly where the Triforce is. She's been in most of the rooms in that dungeon. Making a Mags play, gets Mags. That's a big offensive advantage for Jess. And now let's see what she does.
Has Fury seen level 2?
You know, I don't know. I feel like he would have gone back there if he had, but I don't know that he has.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm terrible at watching 2 people at once, but I don't remember seeing him in level 2. And so if he doesn't have the knowledge of the recorder block, first of all where it is, but then the recorder block there, that's tough.
When meanwhile Jess finds level 4, which could actually be very, very bad for Jess.
Yep.
We know that the item is not going to be anything that she needs necessarily, and it could push her away from level 5, or I guess not as bad as if the silvers were what she had missed. That would be devastating, because then she would probably go to 9 without the silvers. But she'll at least dig this. Well, she finds a quick item in here, which is good for her. Now she's just gonna find the Triforce and get out.
Yeah, it won't end up being that bad, and it's good for Jess that it's the bow she's missing and not the silvers, because the play to 9 won't be an option, since she'll know the bow's not in 9. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fury looks like he's making a play back to level 5. I'm going to pick the Triforce up out of here. Already has the item, obviously. And where is Jess heading? Looks like Jess is maybe...
She's just doing
still
some
trying recorder spots.
She's looking for the white sword item, maybe?
Either white sword item or level 8. I don't know that she's seen level 8.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I guess she's probably working her way towards 3 and doing these checks along the way.
Yeah, that's very possible. That's 2. Going backwards now.
She's going to record her to 7 and go to 3.
Yeah, that's right. 7 is close to 3. Meanwhile, Fury going to get this Triforce out of 5. He will be 1 Triforce away from getting into 9, as is Jess right now. Danger for Fury is if he hasn't seen that level 2 and he goes somewhere else for another Triforce. I'm not sure, is he looking for a heart maybe? Or did he forget that he found the bow in here? Okay, it looks like he remembers now. Oh, and Jess gets bopped back through the door by that TikToker.
That's up to 12 keys.
Yeah, this seed has been one of the most generous seeds I've seen this tournament as far as giving away keys. Meanwhile, Jess finds the power bracelet in 3.
Which is potentially bad news for Jess. I still think she's going to go back to level 5 rather than wander the whole overworld, but it opens the chance of doing a bunch more unnecessary overworld exploration.
Yeah. The power bracelet's probably the last thing she would have wanted to find there. She doesn't know it, obviously, but Red Ring probably would have been the only useful. Red Ring or Book would have been the only two useful things that she would have wanted to find there.
Right. Alright, so that's 6 Triforces for Jess, but she knows she needs the bow before level 9. She hasn't found 8. She knows where 5 is. She doesn't know where the white sword item is. She does not know the item in 6, does not know the item in 7.
And this is good. She recorded to 6. If you're rooting for Jess, it looks like she's going to 5, so this would be good for her. Fury really needs to get to level 2 right now. Although just checking these power bracelet spots. Finds a hint shop. Unfortunately, we don't have the book. Fury back in level 3, gonna find his power bracelet, and this is not good for Fury.
Yeah, it's gonna be even worse for Fury than for Jess, since we don't think has seen level 2.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate miss from Fury. Now Jess needs to find this bow in a bad way. This would be a pretty catastrophic turn for Jess. I'm not surprised that she's going up toward the Triforce first, because she knows where that is. She's done all this. However,
the bow is like 2 rooms from start or something, right?
Yeah, my worry for Jess is that she thinks she maybe picked up 2 hearts or something, and does not realize that she's missing a room, or hasn't gone down a staircase, something like that in the bottom. Yeah, she's obviously still looking for the item here. Oh, and didn't. Yeah.
Alright, well, now she's going in the right direction. I think it's just north of this room. Nope, not north of this room, maybe?
Through the key door. Okay, that's why she didn't find it.
Yeah, there it is. Alright, so say Jess is definitely in the catbird seat now when it comes to this race.
Fury officially on the clock. Desperately needs to get to that level 2, but gonna find this power bracelet out of 3, and that is, in all likelihood, not gonna be good news for him. And here's the power bracelet. Yeah, and I wonder if Fury just thinks he went in that first quest 3 spot and didn't, or just forgot to go back to 2. But that'd be one that I'd be very quick to get back to after finding the ladder. This Jess is in level 9.
51 minutes. Given the sort of first 30 minutes that Jess had, the last 20 minutes have been really good for her.
We'll not need to look for anything other than the roar of Ganon and the shutter door that opens once Ganon is dead and enemies are still in the room. And of course finds the item in the first staircase that she attempts to take, which is the boomerang.
I mean, on the off chance that 9 gives Jess fits and Fury goes to 9 to look for the silvers, if finding the item quickly in 9 will help Fury out. If you can find, if it were both.
That's very true.
But that still requires a lot to happen at this point.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fury checking all these recorder and power bracelet spots. Yeah, I worry we will not see level 2 on Fury's screen here before Jess finishes. Which, if that is the case, it's really unfortunate when that happens. I've definitely had that happen to me, with spots just sitting there open in the world, and I'm like, did I really not go in there?
I think Fury's is gonna head in the direction now. He's gonna do the raft check and then over the dead woods. But yeah, I mean, Fury is too good a racer to not know when he finds level 2 and then finds the silvers to know the implications of that.
Meanwhile, Jess has the compass in this level 9, now only looking for Ganon. It's stuck on the door frame there.
Jess could walk into a door frame for about 10 minutes, and that might
Yeah, chat with a good point. The 8 dig really cost Fury. It was a long dig and really did not pay off for him in the slightest. That any key was good at the time, but this key has been so generous with the keys, it's not helped. And here's level 2 for Fury.
Yep.
I have a feeling there's an immediate kind of heart drop, especially when he sees the silvers here.
I mean, at this point, if you're Fury, you really needed, like silvers under a power bracelet, white sword, or something like that.
Yeah,
it's just not to be in this seed.
Now it is not technically over here. Fury could get this, could get these silvers and get into this 9 before Jess finishes. Jess is just going to have a lot of this 9 done, and she knows where Zelda is. So it's going to take a pretty fortunate route from Fury in this 9 to get back in this. That is, if Jess doesn't finish by the time he even gets in there. He's taking the staircase. We know that it is the room on the very bottom of that right segment that has the silvers.
Did Jess see the path to the kidnapped?
She's one room to the left of
and she's right
Zelda
there
right now, so I would assume that she does have it.
Oh, and Fury's going up, which is, 50-50 coin toss, just happens to be the wrong one here.
Yeah, especially knowing that the Triforce, which he doesn't need, is down in the bottom. That's essentially one room versus like 4, so I definitely get it. I mean, I would probably make this. Well, I would definitely make the same play. And here's Ganon for Jess.
Mags, she only need 4 hits on him in this lovely Chevy room. I don't think she has a potion, but no problem.
Puts him down, and we will see now if Jess has the path to Zelda. And Fury up 8 out of the top of that level 2. She's certainly moving like she has the path. Well, maybe not.
Probably she just didn't go back to that staircase room and go right from it. Just see if she can circle around from the top right here.
Will this be it? No. No, it is not. Can she bomb left? Yes, she can. And there it is. That's the door. And once she gets by these Gibdos, get your GGs out for jessandy finishing the race with an official racetime.gg time of 57:12. Moving on to the Sweet 16.
That's right. She'll be facing Fred Coughlin in the next round. Really a seed that was a tale of two halves in terms of just the routing decisions that really helped Fury for the first 30 minutes, and then really hurt him pretty badly in the rest.
Yeah, I mean, it's really two decisions that kind of hurt Fury there. The fact that he dug that 8 for a long time, and the fact that he left his last overworld checks to be the Dead Woods. It looks like he is going to go to this 9 and finish it out. And we do have Jess in the booth. Jess, GG's.
My heart is racing so much right now.
Yeah, so it was a really fun race. I would say Fury was in a pretty good lead for maybe like 20-30 minutes that race, but you really once you found that one, just started blazing through the seed, making all the right calls. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was very, very sad when I saw the wand, because I went to the East Armoses first, thinking, all right, maybe there'll be something over there. It's concentrated. I don't know. I hate having to go up to Death Armos versus rolling into it, depending on the screen. And then, of course, I died trying to get the wand. But I don't know. It felt really slow at first. I mean, I didn't get my first Triforce till almost 20 minutes, and I didn't have my next one until like 37 minutes. So I'm just like, who ordered all the ladder blocks? Also, by the way, thanks, Pony.
You got it.
I'm blaming you for that.
I listen. I got you a couple recorder blocks also.
That is true. Everything was ladder and recorder, and of course, it's just like, oh, the recorder's on the coast. I can't get it until I find the freaking ladder. But I don't know. I like having wizards in the overworld. Only had one death. I don't remember where that death was. Up 8 out of 1, of course.
The death was the one right when you were trying to get the wand the first time.
Oh, that's right. But no, and I don't know. I felt good when I saw that Triforce in 7. That was ladder block, and then got the Triforce in 1, or the ladder in 1. Like, I'm gonna immediately get that Triforce. That way, when I get the recorder, I can recorder back up to 7 to finish 3, rather than have to walk. So that's why I went with that 7. But yeah, no, I don't know what to say. I'm gonna enjoy watching this back this evening to see what's going on, because like I said, I literally went and checked my tracking ring, and my heart rate is up, which is funny.
Yeah, I mean, oops, sorry, Pony.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you were, Fury did go west from the start, so he got to the sword and to the wand 5-6 minutes before you did. Fury got the bow out of level 5 the first time in, and you didn't. And Fury found level 1 at that bridge between East and West Death Mountain, I'd say around 20 minutes in, and so had his ladder there. And at that point, if you rewatch it, you'll see lots of proclamations of your demise in chat.
Was there a lot of Jess's gooses cooked being thrown about?
Then what ended up happening is you eventually found level 1, and like Antler said, that really started speeding you along. And meanwhile, Fury found level 8. Did you ever see level 8?
No, and I also didn't see. I guess none of us saw the white sword item.
Yeah, nobody saw the white sword item.
Yeah, no.
But Fury saw level 8 and committed big time to a full dig of it, and that probably was 10 minutes or something. And meanwhile, you were starting to clean up with the ladder and and with the recorder. You went back to 2, and Fury hadn't even seen level 2 by that point. So you came roaring back at that point.
Where was level 8 at?
That's a good question. I was looking at your screen and then I saw, Fury found level 8, and I think we were both looking at your screen, and he literally went in once, never came out until he had both items on the Triforce.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was it was an unfortunate find for him, because he, if the silvers were there, we didn't know that the silvers were there at the time, or weren't there at the time, but it was pretty much, if the silvers were there, Fury likely wins. If they're not, it was looking a lot better just as the longer he stayed in there for you. And the fact that the only real question toward the end was, does Jess remember that she didn't find the item out of 5? Because it was in the starting segment, and you had left without it originally. So
yeah,
we were
because
like,
it was a key door, and I had maybe like 2 keys, and I didn't want to use them yet.
right.
And then I said the top section had the ladder blocks. I'm like, I'm gonna mark it as both key and ladder blocked, and come back later.
Yeah, that makes total sense. But that was really the only concern was hopefully you didn't like forget that you still need the item out of there and leave the bow behind. But yeah, Fury had that very early, so it was a lot of people were saying, oh man, gonna be tough to come back from this one. But it ended up working out for you.
Yeah, also very thankful that I got mags before going to 9, because Chevy Rim Ganon is no fun.
Yeah, you didn't have a potion, right? I don't think you ever picked up a potion.
I did not, and I was looking at when I left 5 with the bow, but I didn't have, like, the closest potion shop I had was at Vanilla 5. I'm like, I don't have a Triforce out of 5, I can't toot back there, screw it, we're going to 9 with mags.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fury has Ganon fighting him in that Chevy room with the wood sword, so experiencing some of that Chevy room pain right now that you were mentioning, but doesn't get a stun lock, so I would assume that he'll get him down here. Yep, there's...
I've never had bad experiences with Chevy Rim Zeldas, ever.
So Fury will be finishing up shortly here. But yeah,
Jess, you'll be going on to face Fred Coughlin in the round of 16. Any thoughts on that matchup?
That will be a lot of fun. Obviously, Fred has so much knowledge of this game via creating it. No, I think it'll be a good time. I really do. Also, I have to say, I did it for Just Dad. I could not let my dad down. He predicted me to go all the way, I think, to the round of 4. So I had to get through Fury, and of course, Fury is a fantastic competitor. We have the whole, tutors versus boomers thing going on.
So that Jess, you and Fred have never raced head-to-head, so it'll be another first-time head-to-head race. So that'll be fun.
Oh wow, that's fun.
Yeah, Fury needs bomb. There he gets bombed, so he should be finishing up shortly now. He needs to bomb into that room above Zelda from the right, I believe.
Yep, I was getting worried. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, how the heck do I get to a room? Please tell me it's not a magic staircase, because of course I didn't have the map. Fury doesn't have the map.
Yeah, and for how far behind he was getting those silvers, getting into 2, he's actually finished out pretty strong here, and you can get there from the bottom as well, it looks like. So get your GGs out for Fury, finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 105.51.
Yeah, I'll say that in the end, the difference in times pretty well lines up with Fury having a few minute advantage in the first half and then sinking that time into 8, which set him behind. And we're joined by our runner-up. I just got kicked off.
No, I still see. You're still here.
I'm here. FurySK. GG, Fury.
GG's.
Yo, GG's Fury. It sounds like it was a fun match.
I mean, I went the wrong way again. It seems got the early ladder, but it didn't turn into the early flute, which was required for silver. So ended up digging a big 8, and I think that put me way behind.
Yeah, and I had a late
you basically
ladder.
nailed it, Fury. That was the story.
I mean, the last 3 times I've had a tournament race, 8 is hard required, so figure, what the heck, it's probably going to do it again. Nope. One time I dig it early, it absolutely says it's worthless. So that
Where
is
was
would
level
be,
8 at, Fury?
It is on the river spot, so ladder goes straight into
Oh,
that.
gotcha. Okay, yeah, I never found it.
It's a garbage room right off the bat. Horizontal shoot Lionels have to go through all of those to get through the shutter door. So it was one of those where it's like, man, if this is hard required and you just right order into this, it's probably a absolute slaughter of a win, but also can be an absolute time sink. So that is the trade-off.
Yeah, as you said, Fury, you got to the sword, the wood sword, the wand, the ladder, the bow, all 5-10 minutes before Jess did, and looked to have an advantage in that way. And then it basically all turned around when you committed to 8 and didn't pay off.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have at that point. I didn't have 2. I didn't have 4. I didn't have the white sword item. I didn't have ladder item. I think so. I guess I can go to easier dungeons, but at the same time, if it's like a big payday with 2 items in there, I think once I got the staircase item, that was the hard container. I guess I should have cut my losses at that point. I don't think I catch up anyways, but at that point, I also did just have like 11 rooms left, so. Don't know. I played it the way I played it, and it ended the way it did. That's kind of how these go sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
Antlers and I were saying, I think it was a tale of just routing and digging decisions, and it helped you out for the first 20 minutes or so, and then that earlier ladder led you to the river spots and led you to the dig of 8, and that did you in.
Yeah, I think the only way I get saved in this is if the red candle is not in the room it's in 6, because it probably alters my routing out of DM, but that also
that's a good point.
Behind the ladder.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I would see the coast item, and I would see level 2 and its dig dogger block a lot earlier, so it would push me back there before 8. But again, I mean, you just route these, and best of ones. It's just whoever routes the best when it comes down to this end of the tournament. I would think Jess has caught up to me in times. She basically matches me race for race, kind of go back and forth these days. So I knew it was just going to come down to routing and just playing clean, and looks like we both played pretty clean, and I just didn't pull off the right route.
Yeah, I mean the play was good, all seed from both of you. I don't think either of you was gonna ever gain a huge advantage on that, because you did both play very well technically. It was just decisions. One of you zigged when the other zagged, and the first zig paid off for you, and the second and the zag after that definitely paid off for Jess. But silvers could have very easily been in that 8, and at that point you absolutely win. Like, there's zero chance that you don't win at that point. So it's just a matter of where the items fell in the dungeons. But it's been fun watching you in this tournament. Former or tournament winner, swordless tournament winner, extremely good player. It's always great to watch you, and who knows, maybe we'll get another swordless tournament and you can tan my hide again.
I don't know about that, man. Those seats also came down to routing. I mean, I remember that bow in 9, because we put important items in 9 for that tournament. So that was the ultimate troll, was just throw the bow underneath a bunch of wisdoms in 9, and antlers will never dig it. That's the only way I can win those.
Oh no, those were some fun races though. You were always one of the giants and swordless, and still are, and it's in any flag set really. But it's always a joy to get to commentate 2 great runners like yourselves, and see these great races play out. So definitely been a good watch.
Well, appreciate it, and I get to now hide from the rematch from Fred. I'll leave Fred to Jess, and I'll look forward to seeing who ends up winning this thing. I think there's one tournament winner left in the bunch at this point. Everybody else has got knocked out of the former tournament winners.
Oh wow, that's a fun stat.
I believe it's just Thurwolf left as far as like major tournaments. I'm not sure about the Rookie Rumble winners, so perhaps one of those is still alive somewhere.
There is an SGL. Yeah, I know there's an SGL online tournament winner still alive. So
yeah, that's true.
No, thanks so much, Antlers and Potato Pony and Crump, for taking your Saturday afternoon to get this one on the air. So always a fun time.
Any final thoughts, Jess or Fury?
Just burn the tutor.
All right. Antlers, any final thoughts from you?
No, just GG's on a great race to both of you. Looking forward to watching Jess against Fred. That's going to be an epic series. And then from there, just beyond the tournaments getting down to brass tacks now. It's going to be fun to watch how it closes out.
And I'll just thank you, Antlers, for joining me on commentary today. And Crump,
Likewise.
thanks very much for tracking all of the items for all of us. And chat, thanks for hanging out with us. And SpeedGaming, thanks for putting the race on. If you're looking for more Zelda randomizer action, there is a Game 3 in the low rule bracket between bbq.gov and HIO24 is at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So just a little less than 2 hours from now. That'll be on the Z1 Randomizer channel, so you can check that race out if you want. And then there will, there's 4 or 5 races on the docket for tomorrow, so you'll be able to enjoy some Zelda on your Sunday. And with that, I want to thank Fury and thank Jess for a excellent race. It was a pleasure to watch, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.